Although I wish I were here with better news, the fact is that you and I are sitting here today because this will be your last week of employment at this company.
Why me?
What am I supposed to do now?
Am I supposed to feel better that I'm not the only one losing my job?
This is ridiculous. I have been a fine employee for over 10 years.
Leave me dumbfounded. I don't know where this is coming from. How am I supposed to go back as a man and explain this to my wife that I lost my job?
I can't afford to be unemployed. I have a house payment. I have children.
Wasn't expecting this. Not at all.
Just like that?
I'm disappointed that I've given so much of my life.
This is not fair.
There are people that are going to be way more qualified than me now.
I don't know what to do when I wake up in the morning tomorrow.
Hi, Gary Brown here, and having to make staff redundancies is probably the worst part of running a business or being an HR manager, and it's most likely causing you stress, anxiety, and maybe even giving you some cold sweats at night, right? But I'll talk more about that in just a second, because in this video, I'm going to show you how our clients have run stress-free redundancy programs that have supported over 3,000 professionals without the headaches, without the emotional burnout, without the potential legal claims, or damage to employee morale and staff performance that you often risk facing. All without the traditional, outdated outplacement services that are typically offered to departing staff. So without the type of employee assistance that narrowly focuses on just CV writing and interview skills and neglects all the most critical aspects of career transition that are required to navigate today's fast-changing modern labor market. And despite your best intentions, these slow, outdated processes end up leaving your departing staff just feeling shortchanged and often downright resentful.
I want you to review this packet. Take it seriously. I think you're going to find a lot of good answers in here.
I'm sure this is going to be very helpful. A packet. Thank you. Packet.
Now, instead, I'm going to show you how you can run a stress-free redundancy process that empowers your exiting staff, slashes your legal risks, boosts the morale of your remaining staff, and can save you up to 90% on your costs. In fact, I'll guarantee you a better experience at less cost than you're currently getting, or you don't pay. Now, before that, if you're watching this video, I'm going to make two assumptions to ensure that we're not wasting each other's time. One, you're in a business that is currently considering making redundancies. Generally, this means that you're a small or a medium-sized business who's considering making anywhere between 5 to up to 100 staff redundancies over the next coming months. And two, your current process for supporting exiting staff is either not as good as it could be, or is totally non-existent, and you want a better way to support the staff you'll be leaving so they feel better equipped to adapt to their changing circumstances and re-enter the labor market without all the typical anxiety and stress that comes from being made redundant in these uncertain times. Why? Because you recognize just how stressful redundancies can be for the whole company and everyone involved, staff, management, and the HR team. And you recognize just how much a positive exit experience will greatly affect your entire redundancy process, your company's reputation, and your remaining employees' morale and performance. So if that's you, rather than some long, silly sales presentation disguised as training, give me a couple of minutes of your time. I'm going to show you the greatest opportunity you have right now without wasting another minute on some long, complicated, outdated process. Now, I recognize that if we've never met, you might be thinking, well, why should I listen to you with all the other supposed experts out there? And look, that's a fair question. Considering all of the outplacement experts who've been doing this stuff for 30 or 40 years with their members clubs and their special secret handshakes, I get it. So since 2002, that's over 20 years now, our efforts have been responsible for helping over 5,000 professionals secure exciting new jobs in a host of job sectors, from IT to the civil service, finance, tech, retail, hospitality, logistics, and more. We've delivered HR and staffing solutions for hundreds of clients, including FTSE 100 companies like Capita PLC, SAP, G4S, Deutsche Bank, Reed, Indeed.com, GXO, Moonpig, Marriott Hotels, not to mention public sector organizations, including numerous local authorities, charities, the Department of Work and Pensions, and even the London 2012 Olympics. Plus, since 2010, we've successfully coached over 3,000 professionals out of redundancy. So I'm also an author of Career Revolution 2.0, Mastering Your Career Change in the changing economy and accelerate your career in 30 days. And we've been featured in numerous publications, including the Huffington Post. And my day job is running a workforce development consultancy since 2014, where I've designed and delivered workforce change programs for some of the UK's most innovative companies, delivering solutions across the employee lifecycle, from employer branding to talent acquisition to learning and development to employee well-being to leadership development and also HR analytics. So I'm knee deep in this stuff every single day, doing exactly what I consult up with others to do. And the process that I'm about to show you has helped people like Sharon go from feeling lost after being made redundant and being out of work for 2 years to landing a head of theatre production role in a notable West End theatre within just 45 days of jumping on our program. Helped Lindsay make the transition from a public sector job where she had felt that she had hit the glass ceiling to being offered 4 different jobs within just 30 days and landing her dream job in the private sector where she still works today. And it also helped Roz go from being made redundant from a stressful HR executive role in the pharmaceutical industry to transition to becoming a freelance HR business partner for high-level fashion brands where she now gets to travel extensively and she loves her work. And there are so many more, but honestly, none of that really matters, because right now, in this moment, the only thing that matters is you and you getting the results that you are looking for. Running a stress-free redundancy program that delivers a more positive outcome for you, your organization, and your workforce. Now, if you're thinking, well, okay, you do it for yourself, you've helped many other trusted leaders in our industry do it, and you've helped thousands of professionals around the country do the same, and if this system doesn't work, I don't pay, well, go ahead and schedule a call to see if you too qualify to use this process. Because frankly, if I can't help you, I'm going to tell you. In fact, I said no to more people and more businesses than we actually said yes to. I'm actually incentivized here to only work with businesses that I feel I can help. Because honestly, A, I just don't have the time and I don't want the hassle. And B, I don't want to risk my reputation. So go ahead and book a call. We'll have a look at your process and see if you qualify to have this system work for you, and then discuss, if there's a fit, how we can help you implement it. Now, if you want to know why this system works so well, then just give me a few more minutes and I'll explain just that. See, what I'm not going to do here is try and teach you how to run redundancies. No, you're no doubt a highly experienced and qualified HR professional, or you have highly experienced and qualified HR professionals working with you or for you who know the proper and legal process to follow to ensure that you run your redundancies in full compliance with employment law. Now, in case that's not the case, or just to save you a little bit more time, I've actually sent a redundancy checklist to your email inbox that highlights each stage you need to go through to check step by step that you're following best practice, remaining compliant, and avoiding any legal risks, just as a handy aid for yourself. But let's be clear about one thing. When it comes to redundancies, there are 2 types of employers out there. There's the process employer, one where the HR department runs a redundancy process that is perfectly compliant, efficient, follows all the procedures properly, and is perfectly fine and fit for purpose. But they have little understanding of how the planned redundancies are affecting the well-being of the staff that are leaving, or with their teams being broken up and hierarchies and job titles being changed and roles and responsibilities being effective. They have little understanding of what impact it is having on the remaining staff. Now, recent research by Randstad revealed that 80% of HR and procurement professionals rated the way their company handles downsizing actions as excellent or very good, and 55% even believe that it will have a positive impact on how they retain employees. However, research amongst employees revealed that 80% of remaining employees are less likely to recommend their organization as a great place to work after a single round of layoffs. 74% share that their own productivity declined after the layoffs, and 61% say their company's future prospects are worse. So there's clearly a disconnect between how process employers see their redundancy process and the reality. So then there's the impact employer. Impact employer understands that whilst making redundancies is an unfortunate and unpleasant part of business, it can also be an opportunity to make the organization stronger, leaner, follow a better course of action with a more clearly defined culture that equips the organization to make a fresh impact in their market or in their industry, and gives their teams a clearer sense of direction and purpose. The difference with an impact employer is they understand and seek to address the 9 key challenges HR leaders face during redundancies. So let me run through these for you really quickly. Number one, maintaining employee morale and trust. When redundancies occur, the impact extends beyond those directly affected. Employees who remain may feel anxious or uncertain, fearing that they might be next, and this can lead to a significant drop in morale and productivity. So as HR leaders, you're likely grappling with questions like, how can we communicate transparently about the redundancy process without causing panic? What strategies can we implement to reassure remaining employees and maintain their trust in the organization? And how do we balance the need for confidentiality with the desire for open communication? Number two, protecting your organization's reputation. Now, in today's world of instant communication and social media, managing your organization's reputation during redundancies is more crucial than ever. You're probably concerned about how can we ensure departing employees leave on a positive note. What strategies can we employ to mitigate negative reviews or comments online on things like Glassdoor? How do we maintain our employer brand and continue to attract top talent even during downsizing? Number three, ensuring legal compliance and mitigating risks. Now, redundancies come with significant legal risks, including potential claims of unfair dismissal or discrimination. Even if you follow all legal requirements, if employees feel unsupported, they may still seek legal recourse. You're likely asking yourself, therefore, how can we ensure our redundancy process is fair, transparent, and obviously legally compliant? What steps can we take to minimize the risk of legal action from departing employees? And how do we balance legal requirements with our desire to support employees? Number four, supporting transitioning employees. One of the most critical challenges is providing meaningful support to those who are leaving. Probably wondering, how can we help departing employees find new roles quickly? What kind of support can we offer to ensure they don't feel abandoned or undervalued? And how do we balance the need for cost-effective solutions with the desire to provide comprehensive support? Number five, inadequate focus on reskilling and upskilling. So here's where traditional outplacement and redeployment services often fall short in addressing the need for reskilling and upskilling. The World Economic Forum reported that 50% of all employees will need reskilling by 2025 due to technological advancements and evolving job roles. So that 2025 is just around the corner. So as HR leaders, you're likely asking, how can we ensure our departed employees have the skills they need for the future job market? Are our current outplacement services preparing our people adequately for the jobs of tomorrow or just for the jobs of yesterday? And how can we provide meaningful support when entire roles or departments are being phased out due to technological advancements? Number six, misalignment with modern job search trends. Now, the job search landscape has undergone a seismic shift in recent years. LinkedIn research suggests that 70% of people are hired at companies where they already have a personal connection, and 85% of all jobs are filled via networking. And with the advent of AI, you're probably asking yourselves, are our outplacement services equipping employees with modern networking skills? How can we help our departing staff leverage online platforms, social media, and personal branding in their job search? And are we providing guidance on building and maintaining professional networks? Number seven, limited emotional and psychological support. Now, the psychological impact of job loss can be profound and long-lasting, as we know. A recent study published in the Journal of Vocational Behavior found that job displacement can lead to long-term reductions in life satisfaction and increases in anxiety and depression. So as compassionate HR leaders, you're likely worried about, how can we support the mental health of our departing employees? Are we doing enough to prepare our people emotionally for the challenges of a job transition? And how can we ensure our outplacement services address both the practical and the emotional aspects of career change? Number eight, the one-size-fits-all approach. Now, traditional outplacement services typically employ a standardized model and have been providing the same set of services to all displaced employees for years. However, your workforce is diverse, with different segments requiring tailored support. You're probably wondering, how can we provide personalized support to employees at different career stages? Are our services meeting the unique requirements of various employee segments from entry level to senior executives? And how can we ensure that our placement services are engaging and relevant for all of our departing staff? And then number 9, ineffectiveness in addressing the gig economy and remote work trends. So the nature of work itself, as we know, is changing rapidly. The gig economy is expanding and remote work has become increasingly prevalent. So as forward-thinking HR leaders, you're likely grappling with questions such as, how can we prepare our departing employees for success in the gig economy? Are our outplacement services providing guidance on remote work opportunities and skills? And how can we support employees who might want to transition to freelancing or start their own businesses? Now, impact employers are offering new, modern, effective redeployment and outplacement support because they know this investment will bring significant returns in employee productivity, employee buy-in, work culture, well-being, and reduced costs. But what about the cost of not providing adequate support? So when employees are made redundant without adequate support, the consequences can be very severe. They often face significant personal and professional pain points, and we see this all the time. They experience a loss of control, and this can lead to decreased self-esteem and confidence, difficulty in actually making decisions about their next career steps, feeling helpless and sometimes hopeless, and then having a certain element of uncertainty in the job market. That can often result in wasted time and energy on ineffective job search strategies and missed opportunities due to a lack of knowledge of the market itself, and again, prolonged periods of unemployment. And then with a lack of guidance and direction, this again manifests as a difficulty in setting career goals and confusion about which skills to develop or which skills to highlight, and ineffective networking and job application efforts. And finally, emotional stress and financial anxiety. So for many, this uncertainty leads to a decrease in confidence, making it even harder to find a new job. It can lead to a deterioration in mental and physical health. It can have a strain on physical relationships and have long-term financial setbacks. So without the right support, these employees may spend months, sometimes even years, we see people, trying to find that new role that aligns with their skills and their experience. And this can have a massive impact in their overall well-being. Okay, but what about the cost of not providing adequate support to you, the HR leader or the employer? Let's address the fundamental issue underlying all these challenges. If you're tasked with managing redundancies in this complex environment, here's one thing I know about you and your departing employees. 99% of the time, the real problem isn't the job losses, it's not the cost of the severance packages, or even the immediate emotional impact for everyone involved. The real problem is lack of control. Think about this for a minute. If you as an employer or HR leader had full control over how to support your departing employees, ensuring that they were supported practically and emotionally to quickly find new roles that match their skills, their pay expectations, and the work-life balance needs, how much easier would your job be? How much less stress would you face in managing this difficult process? If your departing employees knew that they would be supported in their career transition, how much smoother would that transition be? How much would it reduce the emotional toll on them, your remaining staff, and more importantly, you and your HR team? How much less likely are there to be legal claims, difficult consultations, problematic negotiations, and increased costs? Wouldn't you agree that your biggest challenge isn't just managing the redundancy process, but ensuring your departing employees are shown that their previous contributions have been valued, that they feel respected and supported to land on their feet quickly and successfully, so that you can have a stress-free, risk-free, cost-effective redundancy process? But here's the clincher. 99% of all career transition and outplacement services out there are tailored to process employers who have bought into the delusions and myths about redundancy programs being a tick box exercise. And they use these outdated traditional services whose advice and support isn't fit for the modern landscape and leaves departing employees feeling unsupported and in some cases downright resentful. So when your employer brand suffers, staff productivity falls, sickness absence increases, legal claims increase, redundancy costs skyrocket, and it becomes harder to attract great people to join your business, it's the impact employers who ultimately win, whilst your HR department and your management teams are just left with more stressful staffing issues to try and manage. That's why our process leaves process employers and the traditional outplacement providers in the dust, because we teach your departed staff all the skills to navigate the modern labor market so they can land a new role in the shortest time and, most importantly, leave your organization with a positive experience. So if you want to be a process employer that uses traditional outplacement services, then by all means, click off this page. But I focus on giving your departing staff a positive exit experience, so no more anxious meetings and stressful negotiations for you. Just imagine the impact on your organization. Departing employees landing new roles faster, often in growing industries with better long-term prospects, reduce stress and anxiety among both departing and remaining staff, an enhanced reputation as an employer who truly cares about its people, even during the tough times, improved ability to attract top talent, knowing that you provide unparalleled support throughout the employee life cycle, potential for creating a valuable network of former employees who speak positively about your organization on platforms like Glassdoor and Indeed, reduced risk of legal issues related to redundancies, high productivity and engagement among remaining employees, and lower costs. So if you're open-minded about an even better way to run stress-free redundancies, then click the accelerator call link below, schedule your call, and see if you qualify. We'll ask you a few questions and then within minutes, let you know if this system works for you and potentially invite you to participate in one of our options. Or you could just keep doing what you've always been doing, right? Entering into stressful consultations and settlement agreements, constantly having to defend your decisions and shouldering all the stress of the process without much support. Again, you can use a process that works, the same process that slashes your legal risks and saves 90% on costs. The Department of Work and Pensions used this to support over 1,000 of their professionals who were made redundant, which led to 63% securing a new role within 45 days and 81% within 3 months. Maximus used this, and 95% of users reported that the program was either excellent or good, with 98% saying they would recommend it to others. So click now to apply, and we'll talk soon.